Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Vikings Central podcast. Not a lot of Viking horns that were to be heard tonight. And with me tonight, I do have with me Austin Dowdle joining us on the Vikings Central postgame show. The Vikings fall in dramatic fashion to the Chargers 37-10. Go ahead. Send us your comments. I know that there's going to be at least a couple as far as what you think about the game tonight, good or bad. There's not a whole lot of good, but send them our way as far as what you think went wrong tonight. Hey, we're going to talk about it. We're going to grieve together tonight. And then just where you think this team needs to go going forward, really. Austin, I don't know, just initial thoughts. 37-10. We get absolutely thrashed in this game.
Yeah, it was really ridiculous. Carson Wentz, I know we were talking about it yesterday. What can you expect? All he can do is the RPO. I mean, we saw that tonight. He can't read any progressions. He's holding on to the ball way too long, and he's just getting sacked. And he likes to make bad decisions too, even when he is getting the ball out in time. And it's hard for me to keep watching. I really, really hope we go to JJ McCarthy next week. I really don't want to see that again. I just what I don't get is I just watched Brosmer in the last drive. I know obviously that doesn't really matter because he was facing backups too, but I mean he changed his snap cadence a lot, which was big. If you watch, they were jumping on Carson Wentz. So like the Brandel or Wentz, one of the two needed to change something. They knew when we were snapping the ball. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, Jack Davis agreeing with you and me and everyone else out there. Brosmer needed way more time for us to evaluate him. Should have started playing him after the first half. Man, Wentz had nothing going. Our offensive line was a sieve tonight. With Darisaw on a seemingly pretty short snap count and no Brian O'Neill. He was taking some hits back there, but man, he was not getting rid of the ball either.
No.
And he wasn't accurate tonight. Just nothing was going his way. So why not throw Brosmer out there? And if you're gonna take a beating tonight, at least let's see what Brosmer's got and get him some experience out there. I mean, what we were doing rolling Wentz out there, um, man, I've seen enough. If it's not JJ next week in Detroit, we riot.
Yeah, and Wentz is an obvious pain. I mean, I just think KOC needed to get him out of the game to save himself, if anything, too. I mean, obviously he wasn't playing well. That's why we all wanted him out of there. But for the guy's own safety, he shouldn't have been out on the shouldn't have been out there. Every hit he took, he was wincing. I don't know.
Afrogenics, they should have subbed Carson out at half. Absolutely. Put Brosmer in at that point. He didn't look good. Afrogenics also saying, I hate it here.
Yeah, me too.
Rob C, I see your comment. I can't post the first one. Tavi Bag says, tough go so far for all of Vikes fans. I sure hope we figure it out. We're with you, Tommy. We hope we figure it out. Another one with Wentz. Rob says Wentz has zero situational awareness. Third down sacks, fourth down sacks, throw the ball. If it's single coverage for Jefferson Ass and just throw it up. I agree. Give our receivers an opportunity to go get the ball. Just egregious. Sorry, I'm not giving you a whole lot of time to get ready there, Ryan. Ryan Jones joining us here on the Viking Central podcast as well. This is just an emotional grief session for all of us. We're here giving each other some therapeutic outlet to voice our frustrations tonight, Ryan.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just, an abomination of a football game. There's not really much else to say as on our side of the football. It's not something that we're really used to seeing Even in the Kirk Cousins injury year, it wasn't like that, man. There's been a few games that have been blowouts, weird stuff happening, but this was like couldn't even get the ball into the red zone. Couldn't move the ball. Offensive line, bad. Quarterback, bad. Running game, bad. Defensive line, bad. Tackling, bad. Safeties, bad. I mean, what do you look at to try to hang your hat on? I mean, literally. It's bad. All of it, bad. Coaching, bad. Coaching decisions, bad. I'm just so tired of it, man. It's like, how are you going to have one of the highest overall salaries in the NFL, projected to be $20 million over the cap next year? And who did you watch tonight that you're like, oh, obviously got to keep that guy? I mean,
Will Reichard for one.
Yeah. Well, he missed a 52-yard field goal short.
That he got rushed on the field though, because we have no timeouts. Towards the end of the half. I mean, the guy that's been the most consistent player on our team. For me, that's hard to put that on him. I mean, yeah, he kicked it short, so I mean, yeah, you got to take some accountability for it. It's not like they haven't practiced that kind of situation. But man, how do we not, put ourselves in a better situation before half to where we have to rush the kick?
Because Wentz takes sacks, so then these are timeouts.
Oh, he's so bad. I mean, I alluded to it in the pregame, he's just, I need Carson Wentz out of my life forever, man.
Zach says, worst game I've ever watched. Close second to the Cowboys blown out, and should have been a quarterback change at half. Give the rookie a chance at this point.
Yeah, I mean, let Aaron Jones play quarterback. Anyone but Carson Wentz. Jesus. The Cowboys blowout. The thing about the Cowboys blowout is that game was over in a blink of an eye. This was just so frustrating because it was like, you're getting your absolute ass handed to you the whole first half, and then you have a chance to go down and and should have tried to score a touchdown with the field position they had, and then they miss a field goal, and then they score a touchdown thanks to turnover and helps from the refs, and you're like, okay, are they going to do something now? Nope, nothing.
Yeah, thanks Zach for the comments. Keep running the comments in here. I'm loving it. I mean, this is how we heal, right? Zach says got almost a 40-year-old quarterback grimacing every play. All right, so something we brought up about the play calling. Jonesy, we lost your video for a second.
Hang on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We just can't see you. All right, so something I'm going to bring up here is KOC, man. What's going on with the play calling? Third and short. Why the hell are we not running the ball with Jordan Mason? And then we got like we're like 2nd and 15 and 3rd and 15. We're running the ball.
Yeah.
Then you're going to choose to run the ball. We got 3rd and short. 3rd and 1s, and we're not running the ball. Why do we bring in Jordan Mason if we're not going to use him for what he's good at, which is short yardage type situations like that?
Makes no sense. I mean, it goes to show you, and kind of rightfully so, how little faith he has in the offensive line right now. I mean, I don't know. Although, it's kind of an oxymoron. It doesn't really make sense. You try to fake the defense on play action, but yeah, I mean, I agree. Don't get me wrong, Chargers have a pretty good defense, but oh my God, dude, just. And to me, I said this before, but I think of the run game like I think of rebounding in basketball. It's a want to, man. In the NFL, especially, like it's different in high school and college. Sure, when you're playing superior talent, like you want all you want. It may not matter if you're just not good enough. But in the NFL, when you're pros versus pros, the best of the best versus the best of the best, dude, it's just the grit and determination to get off blocks and go get the freaking running back. And we just were gash after gash after gash. It was like, like the first half, we're running. They're inviting us to run upfield, creating running lanes by doing so. It was clearly part of their game plan. Like, hey, this is aggressive defense. Just let them by you, and then it's one less guy we have to block on our way 15 yards down the field. And then we try to learn our lesson in the second half, and we couldn't get off a block. They can't get off a block.
Yeah. Right. Afrogenic says, "Where's a run game? Like hello, B taking a shot, heal. You'll never heal as a Vikings fan." I know. What were we thinking, right? Zach coming back. Game script wasn't in a huge favor of this, but running the ball 9 times in the first 3 quarters. I think he meant it isn't going to work if. I think that's what he meant. The pitch plays. It's pathetic.
I'm so tired of toss. Stop running toss.
Yeah, we honestly talked about it all last night. I brought it up a few times. The best way to help your offensive line is to run the ball. When the defensive line knows that you're going to pass the ball, and they obviously had Carson Wentz, like I was saying earlier in this, they had him timed up. They were able to go and they go get him. I mean, the offensive line had no chance. That's why you need to run the ball.
Yeah,
this doesn't make any sense. And then what I don't get is KOC loves running the damn screens. Why weren't we doing screens with their sending as much pressure as they were? We weren't doing anything to try to stop the pressure, and it was getting really irritating.
And Eric Ripley says you can't run play action with JJ in the backfield. So the play that what he's talking about is when Jettas was in the backfield. So we're 3rd and short. So this is frustrating me too. We run some asinine freaking play action play that Wentz has to like scramble and throw the ball away. And it's a 3rd and 1 play.
Yeah.
Give the ball to Jordan Mason. Instead, we run some shit formation play action thing.
And I think we've tried running that same exact play that Eric Ripley's talking about like 3 or 4 times. I don't think it's ever worked. Yeah. That's not the first time we ran a play like that, and it's never worked. I don't know.
Right. Can I just say, like, he was there. He could have thrown that ball the second Jettas broke out out of the backfield. Just put it on him. Like,
yeah, but Wentz doesn't do that.
I know, but I'm just, of course, I know he doesn't. It's Wentz. but that's where I totally blame KOC. He's got that Carson Wentz isn't even Sam Darnold, let alone someone who could freaking lead this team.
So I'm gonna bring it up because it was early in the game, and it really pissed me off. And even though this was a blowout, I got to talk about it. It kind of set the tone. And Afrogenics brings it up. What happened to our defense as soon as they overturned the Rodgers pick? It was terrible. Sure, let's go to the Rodgers pick. What in the actual F? So, I mean, to me, what we're calling a catch. We lost your video again, Ryan.
Yeah,
what we're calling a catch. He had that ball in his hands. It can touch the ground as long as the ground, he didn't lose control in the process, which I don't think he did. And you even heard the announcers, they called it a catch on the field, which, is the right call instead of calling it incomplete and letting the play out. Ends up in a pick 6. But then, and you even have the people on TV watching the play. Hey, I don't think there's enough evidence to overturn this shit. And sure enough, sorry, I'm swearing because I'm emotional right now. And they come out and overturn that thing. For what we saw Devonta Smith with, I was kind of jumping up and down on social media last week against the Eagles. And they called that crap a catch. What they called Travis Kelce's, ground catch.
Yeah.
We can't get a win with TJ, which I get. But you can't get a win with that.
That's the one I wanted to bring up was the Kelce one.
But Rodgers is like, if anything, that was as close of a catch. And at least he had the control down to the ground, and it wasn't bobbling all, I'm super confused. I would love to hear the NFL's explanation or take on that one. I just don't think that there was something that even if you wanted to kind of argue it, there wasn't enough to overturn that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just undeniable to myself and unbelievable. Should have been a catch. Should have been a Vikings touchdown early for a pick 6.
I just think KOC and Brian Flores are going to need to set up drills at practice, and we're going to have to practice keeping our hands under the ball. I don't know. If the refs aren't going to help us out, we're going to have to figure it out. It's getting annoying. Because as we know, in Minnesota sports, the refs never help us. So I guess we're just going to have to accept that. We have to just not let the ball touch the ground, even though Kelsey can let like 3/4 of the ball hit the ground. I don't know.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
Yeah. I would have been a lot more upset about that play if our offense had any sort of competency today. Like, the fact of the matter was,
it would have changed the whole game, though. It would everything would have been.
I don't think so. Offense couldn't move the ball at all. I don't think that was changing one way or another. Yeah. It was just bad. They didn't have anything. They didn't have any answers offensively. Zero. Nothing.
Yeah, and Ted Fisher, again, there's going to be a few Wentz comments in here. It's clear why he's been with 6 teams in as many years. Luke Thornton says should have thrown Cam Akers out there as QB1. Zach comes back. I didn't want to say this, never wanted to, but I think Sam made KOC look better than he is last year. And, you know, go ahead, Ryan.
Look, I think there's times that KOC gets a little too cute. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
But I'm not. If anyone thinks he's a bad coach or Sam Darnold is making KOC look good, don't get me wrong. Sam Darnold is playing amazing this year. If you don't think KOC had anything to do with that, his ability to play last year and this year, then I can't help you, man. That he's not a bad coach. I mean, I don't think there's 5-6 coaches in the NFL I'm putting ahead of KOC, to be honest with you. So I don't know. I mean, I get it. Like, maybe he's got to step it up and learn on some of these, especially short yardage and red zone. But that stuff can be learned with time also. He's still the guy I would want as a head coach. And think about this. If the Vikings fired KOC, how many teams are calling him to make him his head coach right now? Most.
Yeah, I don't think it's you don't look to turn your coach over for someone else. Now, tonight was an abomination of a game. Hopefully we address the play calling and maybe a change at quarterback will help some of that. Just going back to the Rodgers catch, or no catch, if you will. Inconsistency with the ref from Afrogenics. Rob C says that was a catch. B-Dog talking at this point, I'm just supporting J.J. McCarthy and Justin Jefferson. Hopefully next week that's the case. And then going to Cal, Pasola, when we talk about the defense, absolutely. Can't stop the run or the pass. Is it Flo's play calling or the players executing? Rush 4 spread wide on 3rd and short seems crazy. Guys, have at her.
I mean, there's one play that I remember that's gonna sum this all up, and it was like a 1st and 15 or 2nd and 15, and they run the ball. I think there was about 5 missed tackles before Harrison Smith tackled him too high, and he got even 2 more yards. It's just like Byron Murphy missed them, Eric Wilson missed them. Allen missed him at the line, and then he got 20 yards after 5 guys missed him. That's just the story of it. We just weren't tackling today, and even when we were putting ourselves in position to tackle, we just weren't wrapping them up. We were just trying to throw our bodies at them. Guys. I mean, I think we just have to tighten that up, and we have to actually make tackles and play better for everywhere. This isn't just any position group. This is everyone on the defense.
Guys, this was a 3rd string running back in Kamani Vidal that last week had 20 yards, and we allowed him to run for 117 yards and a touchdown tonight off 23 carries against us. Justin Herbert had 7 carries for 62 yards against us. Like, we made him look like an all-star tonight. I mean, I don't know if we're just trying to make them look like Pro Bowlers, but we did a great job stopping the run last week and this week. I mean, especially second half, it just seemed like everything was just kind of falling apart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just last week the game plan was to stop the run. This week the game plan was to stop Herbert from throwing the ball all over us. So they ran the ball down our throat, and then it opened up the passing game. So it was like
Sure.
it just didn't work. And I more than anything, man, it's just getting off blocks. Like we were stuck on blocks like glue, and they couldn't get off a block to save their lives. And that when your D line, when they reset the line of scrimmage, which I saw quite a few times, and when I say reset the line of scrimmage, I mean the ball is snapped and instantly the defensive line is 2 yards further back than where they started.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new line of scrimmage that they set on a run play, and that was happening. It was just the dudes could not maintain gap integrity, and they could not get off blocks. And so they were just getting gashed. And I get the Brian Flores defense is an aggressive defense. Get up the field, get up the field, get up the field. But, if you're going to be aggressive and not reactionary, where you're reading guards and you're actually making the proper reads, and you're trying to force the offense to adapt to the way that you play defense, that's going to happen, man. And if you aren't able to make the adjustments, then it's a serious problem. And you have nights like tonight. They looked terrible. Yeah. Harrison Smith has not been good.
Yeah.
It sucks. Like, I hate to say it, but it's true. Well, but frankly, neither is Theo Jackson, neither is Josh Metellus. Like, I haven't been super impressed with any of our safeties. It's been all bad.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough look out there tonight for Harry. You don't ever want to see that, but when we had, there wasn't a whole lot of bright spots tonight. I don't think for anyone.
No.
And we even got a Bears fan in the comments trying to clown us tonight. That exists right now. So
I know we beat them, but if you look,
Yeah, they've had a tough couple of years. They deserve it. They can start clowning us. We clown them.
Since week 2, they've looked like a lot better team than the Vikings have.
John Herman says, "Is it time to trade Jay Jets?"
No.
I don't think that's even close to in the question. Now, the Jordan Addison thing, that could be a thing just because, are you going to pay 2 wide receivers? So if we're sellers at the trade deadline, that's one that I think could be a possibility. It's not that I would want to trade Addison. It's just what he's going to command in the offseason. That could become a contract situation to where, are you going to have better leverage in the offseason?
Yes. You don't trade him. You don't trade him now.
Yeah, either Addison or Hawkinson needs to go because Hawkinson will need to go in order to pay Addison. Otherwise, I think we like you said in the offseason probably, but you see what paying 2 wide receivers does in Cincinnati. I don't think we do that.
And I think you saw reports of George Pickens trying to command somewhere near $36 million a year. That's outrageous to me for George Pickens. I'm sorry, I'm not as high as some people might be on George. But let's just say George Pickens is asking for 36. If he gets that, I think Addison's going to be in the low 30 range.
Yeah.
And let's just say he is. That's a lot to pay for, a number 2 guy on your team. Like you said, with the Bengals, who else can you afford at that point? But if there was a way to do it, I would love to see Addison still on this team just because of the potential and the talent. I want him to be on this team. Now, I just don't know if we're able to make it work or not. We do have so the advantage we do have that the Bengals don't is we're not paying a Joe Burrow. So can we still make it work when we have a JJ McCarthy? Yeah, we definitely don't have a Joe Burrow on this team.
Yeah. the way you make it work is you draft well. When you have, I mean, just look at the Eagles and Lions. How many of them guys are still on their rookie contract out there producing? Pro Bowlers, like that's how you can afford to pay two receivers a buttload of money. Is you have guys on rookie scale contracts out there producing at Pro Bowl level, and the Vikings don't have any of that because they haven't drafted well.
Yeah, and you got some concerns, Zach. I'm trying to get through some of these comments because got quite a few of them coming in. I'm trying not to get too far behind here. Zach says he's generally worried when McCarthy comes back, this offense will still be incredibly flat. The thing of it is we've seen what happens when Darisaw is not in the lineup, and he was on a snap count tonight, and you don't have Darisaw, you don't have Brian O'Neill. Man, there was no time back there. Some of that is on Wentz. But yeah, tonight was just not good. Now, if by the Lions game we have a little bit longer, some people called it like an extended, almost like a mini bye, just because you're playing on Thursday. Now you don't have to play until the following Sunday. But
the Lions are on a full bye.
Yeah, are we healthy enough by then to where we have our offensive line back? Maybe. But I think that does make a difference. We haven't seen McCarthy yet with a healthy offensive line and or with CD out there. So it will be important that we get one or both of our bookend tackles back for that game.
Yeah, genuinely, this is the most disappointing start to a season I've ever had as a Vikings fan. I can't think of another season with the expectations being and the hope really being what it was versus what we're getting on the field right now. It's terrible. It's terrible. You have you're underperforming at all levels.
Brian Alter couldn't stop the run, couldn't run the football, passing on 3rd and 1. KOC might be a great head coach, but is it time to find a good play caller?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to have the head coach calling plays, but yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I kind of feel like that's what we pay KOC to do. So it's a tough situation. So, but I think we might be at that point. I think it's too early. We have to wait and see what happens when McCarthy comes back because it's not fair. Like obviously the play calls were a problem with a couple of these plays, but I mean we have to see how his play calling is with the guy that he drafted and all that kind of stuff. Everything's going to be different, I feel like.
So is it the play calling or is it the personnel? I feel like we haven't had this issue in the previous KOC years, but for some reason it's rearing its ugly head. Now, I have no
I don't think
reason
play calling would have changed the outcome, but
yeah, I have no reason to defend the 3rd and 1. The 3rd and 1s tonight or the 3rd and shorts, why we're not running on those. I really can't defend KOC on that. To me, those are bad play calls. But I don't think he's a bad play caller. Just track record wise, I don't think we've seen that. But yeah, we've had some situations this year. But is some of that because of the personnel that we have that he's choosing to do that? Maybe.
Yeah, I just think he gets too cute. Like sometimes he overthinks it. Like I genuinely believe this. He is able to dissect just about any defense, and I do think he has answers to just about anything you can throw at him defensively. But sometimes it's not about calling the play that's going to beat the specific defense. Sometimes it's about lining up and knocking the teeth out of the person in front of you. And that's football, man. And so that's what I mean. He just gets too cute sometimes. And you just got to play ball. Like, yeah, let him know what's coming sometimes. Who cares? Like, just line up and let's get some bloody snot bubbles going, man.
Blake on X says play calling don't matter when the O-line can't hold for more than 0.5 seconds.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, and but the quarterback also holds the ball for a 15 seconds. So It's a comedy of errors. Carson Wentz is bad at football. Yes, yeah, indeed, he is very bad at football.
So Eric Ripley says, "What's realistic rest of the year? I don't see another win on the schedule. JJ is clearly not hurt the way he hurdled Jefferson on the sideline, and KOC knows he's not the guy. I don't think we know that. I mean, now I'm not off the JJ wagon. And again, two games. I think that's way too early to make a decision. Now I'm not saying he's the savior of this team, but you have to see what he's got.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is you have to throw him out there week after week. So if we're going to take beatings and we lose the rest of the way, at least we'll know going into next season and going into the draft that we don't have the guy or we have the guy or we think we have the guy. But you don't know if you don't play him.
Right. 100%. No, I couldn't have said better myself. Realistically, the rest of the year should be figure out what you got. Figure out what you got. Figure out what dudes want to be here and what dudes don't want to be here.
And if we're a 3-win team the rest of the way, guess what? We got a high draft pick, and we should be looking at a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know. I mean, if McCarthy goes out there and doesn't show improvement in mechanics, doesn't show improvement in decision making, doesn't show improvement in accuracy, then what? I mean, there's good quarterbacks coming out this year. Yeah, snatch one up. Let's go. I mean, you need that, and you're back to. I mean, I hate to say rebuilding, but really, the way we look today, you can't tell me we're not. And you spent all this money on O-line, and you got a center who's gonna have CTE, and then you get, he should probably retire, and then you got a left tackle who's I've never seen anything like that. I mean, like if his knees are bad, then if his knee's still bad, he shouldn't play. Like,
do you know how many wins the Patriots had last year?
4 or 5.
4 wins.
Yeah.
4 wins. So if we don't win another game the rest of the way, but we see glimmers of good quarterback play from JJ McCarthy, look what the Patriots did.
Yeah.
Did they move off of Drake May just because he wasn't winning football games? No, they saw the improvement and they knew that they had to put pieces around him. Yeah. And look what
Drake May only played like half.
Yeah, but everyone was watching that and seeing that Drake May wasn't the problem. So like it's gonna depend on how McCarthy looks going when he gets in there.
I'm just saying you got to keep rolling JJ out there to see if that's what we start seeing. I'm not saying that you see Drake May, but do you see a quarterback that can be the franchise quarterback of this team?
Yeah.
You also got to find out if he has any sort of durability, because
that's what I mean. I was actually just about to say that. Sorry to cut you off, but I mean, I was talking to Steve about this yesterday, and it's like football's a contact sport. I know you want him to be fully healthy to play, but the reality of the NFL is you're not going to be 100% healthy every play. So I almost want to see how JJ plays when he's not 100% and he's nursing a little ankle injury after a few weeks off. I mean, going forward, he shouldn't sit unless it's a severe injury. He's got to keep going out there, even banged up a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I think it's safe to say that the Hargrave and Allen signings were useless.
Yeah.
Just too much money spent for not enough production. I think Van Ginkel being out is just a crushing blow to this defense.
Before I'll come back to that one, Cal. Eric Ripley says, what good quarterbacks are coming out this year? Again, you got to take a look at that and you got to evaluate. It's kind of too early to kind of make that assumption. I guess there's a lot of games that need to be played in the college game. But again, yeah, you got to take a look at that too. And is there someone else that you need to switch to? But you got to see, and hopefully we don't have to worry about that. Hopefully JJ's the guy, but you got to keep rolling him out there to see if he's the guy. JJ's the guy, but let's draft a quarterback. Let him ride or tank. Yeah. I mean, you have to find out if he's the guy. So, now that doesn't mean you can't draft a quarterback, but that I don't think you're drafting a quarterback number one if you think that JJ may be the guy after his play the rest of the season. You're not drafting. That's maybe not your highest need if you think you're seeing something over these next several games or the rest of the way. You got to see what you got.
And I think even realistically, like you were bringing up with the Drake May stuff, I think realistically McCarthy could look really bad, and he's probably going to get another year next year anyway. So, I mean, we're just going to have to hope that KOC can develop him as he will, because I think Ripley's right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Peppers here. The team will pick it up when JJ's back, but yeah, we can't rely on just like giving up on the quarterback this quick. He's been our guy. I think
Right.
we're looking at Carson Wentz and we're all going, this is worst case scenario. This is what he could be. And I just thinking we're getting too ahead of ourselves. We have to actually see JJ complete 3 or 4 games and see how he progresses.
Yeah.
Alberto Taylor says someone said trade Jettas. That would be the biggest mistake in Vikings franchise. You don't find an all-pro future Hall of Famer in the beginning of his prime in the draft every year. JJ is one of one.
100%.
I'm totally on board with that.
I don't think whoever said trade is it time to trade Jettas has his finger on the same pulse of the Viking fan base that most of us do. I think if you asked every single Vikings fan if they should trade Jettas now, you'd probably get 99.9% of them saying no.
Alberto comes back. The O-line is horrendous. There's no blocking whatsoever. They were hurt tonight. Yes. Carson did need to go through his reads faster. Yes, absolutely. This team lost the last 2 weeks. The defense also giving up the points they've given up is also an issue. It's a team loss. Yeah, I mean, all around, it was for sure a loss.
Bad.
Cade says Brian Flores is overrated. This is the second time he is faced, and he has sliced up this defense. He's talking about the Chargers. Jalen Hurts last week too. He can't beat good quarterbacks. What do you guys say to that?
Sorry,
leave that up.
I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of it is personnel. I do. I think a lot of it's personnel. I don't think the safeties have played well. I don't think they have the secondary to kind of withstand the Flores defense. I think the Flores defense as a theory is effective, and especially in today's NFL, where no matter what in today's NFL, you can't play Donashell. You can't play Ed Donatel defense. So is there probably a happy medium? I'm sure there's some, but at the same time, like I do think it could be an effective defense where they're ball hawking, they're aggressive, they're getting after it. But you gotta have 2 like awesome corners, because if you have that, then you can run a lot of those zero look plays a lot more. And you're not going to get AJ Brown and Devontae Smith just beating you over the top like that.
Yeah.
You got to have a really good secondary, and if you do, then yeah, I think it's an effective defense. But I think for the current roster that the Vikings have, it may not be the best fit right now. Now, the roster can improve with drafting or some good free agent signings. We'll see. But I think with this current roster, it's affecting Flores' ability to get a head coaching job somewhere.
We're going to take some more questions and comments here. I just want to go ahead and thank our sponsors real quick, because we went straight into the grieving session. I didn't thank any of the sponsors that we have out there. I want to thank SeatGeek out there. Please make sure that if you're going to any Vikings games this season, any concerts, shows, events, use that code Vikes Central. Get $20 off any $50 or more purchase. Again, that code is eligible for all SeatGeek tickets. Go ahead and go to SeatGeek on their website and use that code Vikes Central. And of course, make sure that you're going to Homage and homage.sjv.io/Vikings to make sure that you get some comfortable clothing. They have various things out there that are really nice pieces of clothing, whether it be t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, whatever it is, go check them out. Homage.sjv.io/Vikings is one of the ways that you can support. So Homage, a legendary comfort, is on deck. And then also, I can't forget, that's Badass Wood Art. And we do have still a badass player of the game. There's not a whole lot to choose from. I know you're giving me that look, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose, and I need to choose a different view here. There we go. Don't want to forget Ryan, our badass player of the game. What I went with this week was Miles Price.
Miles Price with the preseason pick.
So 5 kickoff returns, 135 yards. Again, because he did a lot of kickoff returns because the Chargers were scoring so much. Now, the other talk around here that I was kind of pissed off about was, how in the hell do we keep holding? Miles Price had a couple of really, really good returns. And again, we keep freaking holding on these plays, and they're nowhere near Miles Price, and that's happening. So this has been happening multiple weeks now. Miles Price having some good returns erased. So special teams coaches, get on it, holding,
the first big return, it was called holding. It wasn't holding.
Yeah, we just
was that the baddie one?
Yeah.
You don't see this so much with other teams, and it seems like we are just awful at holding during a lot of these calls. So
I still hate this new kickoff.
Let's go play real football. Let's not do this.
But I will say, Miles Price, you've been impressive through most of the season. So props to you. You're a badass player of the game. That's Badass Wood Art. Make sure that you go to their website. That's badasswoodart.com. Use code VC15 for 15% at checkout. So thank you to them.
Didn't have to return any punts today.
All right. So getting back to your guys' comments on here. McCarthy knows how to win. He's played 2 games. Let's get off the ledge here from Nathan Springberg.
He knows how to win.
Yeah, well, Nate, I know Nathan, and he's actually a Bears fan, but he's a Michigan fan too, so he's a big JJ guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Eric is out of his mind. Who are we talking about here?
Eric Ripley. They know each other.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Ted Fisher, do you think that they are coddling these players with injuries? I think we've seen the trend that we try to make sure that players are 100% back before they're coming back in. So I don't think that now coddling. I don't know. I mean,
I'll say this: it's a long season, so if you got a bunch of injuries at the beginning of the season, you'd rather be healthy in the end of the season than the beginning of the season if you think you're a team that can make a run. And what does go far in the NFL, if you really talk to players, is if you got coaches that do care and do actually respect your injuries and want you to be at full health. It goes a long way into, especially when free agency comes around and they're trying to decide what team to go play for. They want to play for a guy who knows that, like, hey, if you're not healthy, like, we're not gonna make you or press you or try to get you to suit up knowing you're not at full strength.
Yeah, and these guys have their future contracts, in mind as well too. With some of this, they don't want to go out there and perform badly because they're not healthy. So that's one of the things they consider. I like what we did with like Blake Cashman. We put him on the IR. He came back. He's healthy. He's playing full time in the games. What we're seeing with CD, unfortunately, if he's going to be on a snap count and only play 9 snaps, I'd rather just see him not play the game and totally take it off and come back hopefully fully healthy, maybe in a future game. So we saw Andrew Van Ginkel, same thing. We tried to have him come back. Then he was on some weird snap count, and we haven't seen him since. So that's, I think sometimes it's just better to get them fully healthy so they're back full time, because only playing a few plays isn't helping us.
Yeah, you hit that one on the head. That's kind of where I was going to go with this, is where I kind of actually think of the opposite. I think we're only coddling JJ, but I think on the other end, I think we're trying to push people to get out into on the field sooner than they should be, like you said, with Gink and with Darcel. It's almost like I know he was on a snap count, but I mean, did he re-injure it? Did he tweak it more? Did he not pulled out sooner? Because he was out of the game pretty quick. So that's what I feared. That was my biggest fear with that. So I mean, maybe like you said, if they're hurt, just let them get healthy before we bring them back too soon.
Otherwise, it's going to be a season-long, deal. So let's just get them healthy. Luke Thornton says Jeff or Oberta.
Nice.
So Jeff Okuda got absolutely torched by Lad McConkey on a touchdown pass, and just like we've seen this, a little bit now, where Jeff Okuda is, we saw it in training camp as well. But Jeff Okuda, I don't think he's a corner right now that I'm looking for the Vikings to re-sign and bring back after this year.
No, he's really good at tackling.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what else to say. He can't cover as a corner. It helps if you can cover.
Yeah, there's a reason why he's bounced around multiple teams.
Yeah, he's a great tackling corner.
Yeah.
I don't know. Send him on a blitz every down.
Yeah.
Give him blitz packages. Yeah.
No one will ever catch on.
Eric Ripley said,
he's
tweeted
bad.
by Warren Sharp, the Vikings played the number one easiest schedule this year. They play the number one hardest schedule the rest of the season. I don't know if that's true after tonight's game, but it would definitely probably before the Eagles game. That's the case.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, it's gonna be tough. I don't think they could have played the number one easy. The Bears are 4-2.
But maybe it was preseason.
I think it was the easiest schedule before we played the Eagles up to that game, and then we had the hardest the rest of the way.
Yeah,
the only team we played that had to lose. I guess the Bengals and the Browns. Bengals and Browns were the only two teams we played that losing.
And the Bengals are 3-3.
Yeah, and the Falcons. And the Falcons was a brutal loss, in my opinion. But
I mean, they've all.
Yeah, no, it's not going to go well. I agree with Eric. I think that's where he's going with that. But, yeah.
John Herman was the one that brought up the Jettas. He said, I said it, and I stand by the question. I asked the question mainly because I'd love to see him play for a championship. He's talking about the Jettas trade.
Yeah.
Something he won't do in Minnesota. No doubt he's 1-1. But he'd likely bring 2 to 3 first-round picks. This team does need a lot more than one player. Kwesi would have to improve his draft abilities because he's missed a lot.
Well, yeah. Well, I have a question for you, John. We've seen Kwesi draft. How many draft picks would he actually land on the draft picks when we could just have Justin Jefferson? I'm worried.
Are you going to get a player of his quality out?
That's what I mean. I'm worried. You give Kwesi 5 picks, you're not going to get a Justin Jefferson out of there. So.
To be honest, the time to have traded him would have been when we drafted JJ McCarthy. That would have been when you trade him. You trade him, and the play would have been you trade him to the Giants. And I think the Giants had 2 first-round picks. I don't remember. But if you could have no, hang on. I had this down pat. Anyway, the trade was trade up. You would have got Drake May, and you would have been able to land Malik Neighbors all in the first round. And that would have been the play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and John says that's why I'd say, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of, hindsight stuff that
I'm gonna find my tweet from back then and show you guys what I said.
Yeah, there's a lot of hindsight stuff that we could say with it, but I think coming into the season, we felt good with what we did in free agency, and as long as and I was one of them, as long as we had above average quarterback play, this defense playing should have been just as good, if not better, than last year, at least on paper, that we had a chance to make a playoff run. And honestly, just the quarterback play is absolutely killing us. Yes, the last 2 games we've had some defensive issues in the pass defense game. But other than that, I mean, what's been hurting us the most is our quarterback play.
Yeah. Yeah, we've hit that on the head a lot. I mean, we gotta get rid of the ball quicker, and hopefully JJ McCarthy does that. So I'm not too worried about it. We've done our complaining about our quarterback play. It's over now. Let's hope. I'm almost certain JJ's playing next week. So let's just
I
all
think so.
hope that he has his stuff figured out, and we're gonna be all excited about him again, just for probably him to take our hopes down, because that's what Minnesota sports fandom is. You get your hopes up a little bit for it all to come crashing down. So I guess we'll have to see.
Blake says, really hope Jets believes in the future and doesn't leave us. He is the Vikings. Yeah, we saw a moment at halftime where he was definitely very frustrated, understandably, with what was going on in the game. And, we had a moment where, there was maybe some smiling or laughing going on the sidelines between Carson Wentz and McCown. Don't know what that was all about, but yeah, Ryan, we keep losing you video wise. I'm not really sure what's going on. Now I can see you, but yeah, I think Jets. He's one of those stars that you just pray that you get, and he's once in those lifetime, not just generational talent, but then all around. He's been an all around team guy. And what I mean by that is he's been drama free. He has been, and I don't really read too much into him getting frustrated. He's frustrated because he's competitive and he wants to win. But
he's not like a drama guy. Like,
yep.
I mean, there's no question anymore. He's never even, hinted at drama.
Now, if we've had a couple consecutive 2-3 seasons in a row of frustration, but we just came off of a 14-3 season. I don't think, that's, any reason to say, hey, I need to jump ship because we had one season that was so far been injury riddled. That has really added to some of the issues that we've had so far. Nathan says, time to let JJ cook. So JJ McCarthy, let him cook. John Herman, reverse Herschel Walker trade in our favor this time. We don't have that kind of luck, John.
No.
We're Vikings fans. We just need to come with the realization that plays like what happened to Isaiah Rodgers today are just not going to go our way. We need to obliterate teams, and we need to not leave it to chance. We don't have that kind of Irish luck. To work out
in the off season.
favor.
If someone offered a first for Addison, I think you'd take it.
Oh, 100%. You take that.
Yep, I agree. That's something I would be interested in, but I don't think there's all these. It's funny when you see it on social media. You get some of these team accounts, that have like these off-ball trades, like Addison for a 3rd and a 5th. Who says no? Freaking everyone, man. Nobody's saying that except for maybe you and your fan base that have some unicorn fart dreams. No one's taken that. So, but anyways, that's kind of what I have to talk about so far. Unless you guys have anything else you want to bring up, at least in this game. Detroit's up next. I think we need some time to compress about this game, get healthy, and get refocused if that's a thing for the Detroit Lion game. I think the biggest thing is get healthy and pray that the very first press conference that Kevin O'Connell has, he declares that JJ is going to be the starting quarterback against the Detroit Lions.
Or that Wentz is cut. I'll take either one.
Yeah, I might lose my S if I hear him say that it's up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Josh McCown could have done better tonight, I think.
With his big ass cheeks and fucking smile.
Yeah. That is just we got to see JJ out there. I think
Dude,
like if JJ was playing tonight,
just don't give me Wentz, man. No, can't go trade for Jameis Winston or something. I don't know.
No, we got to stick with JJ to see what he's got. And if
I'm
he's
just
not
saying,
the
if he
guy,
can't play, just don't put Carson Wentz back on.
Yeah, I'd rather see like tonight. I was calling for it too. I've seen enough. If we weren't going to play JJ tonight, you should put in Brosmer. And at least you kind of know what you got there too. Yeah. So, anything else you guys want to talk about or cover? I'm not seeing any more new comments coming in from X or YouTube right now. So,
look, I don't know. As Vikings fans, we're gonna have seasons like these. It just is what it is. Like maybe some fan bases don't have to go through this kind of shit, but we do. And these days are gonna be dark, and it's not gonna be a very fun season. I think that's pretty clear at this point. So I would just say to everyone, just try to find the positives that maybe you can find. Like try to find, hey, even if the positives are, hey, we're going to find out if we have a quarterback of the future or not, and we're going to have a high draft pick. Then, hey.
We won't have a high draft pick. We'll win
just on to that.
We won't.
What's that?
We'll win enough to be at like 15.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know, man. This is really tough schedule.
But I'm just saying that's how it goes, though.
I know. Yeah, I hear you.
They call it purgatory.
But we'll win just enough to be at like 18 to 20.
Yeah.
We'll sneak in some games.
Get me out of this.
I mean, it's the most Viking thing ever would be for us to beat the Lions, just for us not to win a game the rest of the year. So all of our hopes are up next week, and then.
Hey, if we beat the Packers once this year, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got. Again, guys, thanks for joining us, Austin and Ryan. Appreciate it. Everyone else that's online, thanks for contributing. I appreciate all the comments that you guys were giving us, whether it be questions or comments. We appreciate them all. Thanks for joining our grieving session tonight. So again, Chargers get the win tonight, 37-10 over the Vikings. And next up in week 9 is the Detroit Lions. We go to Detroit. Hopefully we're healthier. JJ's in. We get to see at least maybe a new look at, I guess, his footwork that he's been working on as well too. And then hopefully we get our bookend tackles back. But yeah, let's refocus. Try to bury this game. Let's not play in LA anymore on Thursday Night Football. I think that's a given as well.
So that doesn't Thursday night anymore.
Yeah, let's not do that. We haven't been doing very well with that. But for Ryan, Austin, and myself, thanks so much for joining us with Vikings Central. This has been our Vikings Central postgame show. Have a great rest of your evening and a great rest of your week. So,
Later.
Skol Vikings. We're still here. We're still here. Barely, but we're still here. Let's go ahead and try to get a win in Detroit, or at least play a lot better than what we did tonight in week 9. So, Skol Vikings.